we're back, everybody.
And it's quite a heavy film this time around.
Oh, yeah. A very heavy film. It deals with a lot of, existentialism. There's a lot of death. It's a very dark film, but, I quite enjoyed it. We're going to talk about Birdboy, The Forgotten Children. So this is a coming-of-age horror drama film.
Yeah, and it's quite a combo there.
Mm-hmm. Directed by Spanish filmmaker Alberto Vasquez Rice and Pedro, Rivero. The film started off as a graphic novel, which was also by Rice, which he then adapted into a short film, later a feature film. I think it is Rico. I think it's Rico, not Rice. My bad. Your turn, Jad.
The film would win the Rico the Goya Award for Best Animated Film in 2016, and Rico would later win the award again with his second feature film, Unicorn Wars, which we will get around to reviewing one day, I promise.
Yes. There are also a lot of voice actors in here that you wouldn't recognize, like Yuri Lowenthal voices a character. And I mean, the voice acting in this is really, really good, which we will get to. And the film was received positively. It has a 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, damn.
So, like we said, this is a very bleak film, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
Oh, definitely not. And let's see, where do you start? It starts on this small island, and talk about how prosperous it was. It's in a new industrial zone, a nuclear power plant, basically.
It's always the nuclear power plants.
Mm-hmm. But then one day, an explosion occurred. It killed a lot of people and devastated the island. And it got to the point where some scavengers, they dig through the big trash heap that used to be where the factory was.
Looking for copper.
Mm-hmm.
Because copper is valuable.
And it focuses on this social outcast named Birdboy, appropriately enough.
He is a bird and he is a boy.
And he struggles to fly, and he even seems to have some kind of sickness as he coughs up blood.
Yeah, he used to live in the lighthouse with his father, but then his father was killed. We will get to that in a second. But he's sort of not considered to be like the others. They talk about him with revulsion. They when you hear how they talk about him, they don't like him. It seems like they're scared of him.
Mm-hmm. And it
also. This explosion also killed all the fish around the island, so they don't have a steady resource for food.
And we're then introduced to this mouse named Dinky, who lives with a Christian fundamentalist mother and stepfather.
Oh, they're probably one of the worst parts about this movie. They made me so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, they constantly chastise her.
It's constant, and they have this is it a mutated dog or something?
Yeah, and this dog who has some kind of human face mask on, who they treat more like a child than their own daughter.
It's weird and creepy.
And the one scene that got me was the mother tries to guilt Dinky by getting this baby Jesus squeeze doll.
Oh god!
And every time she squeezes
so
the doll,
weird.
Blood comes out of its eyes like it's crying.
Jad, could you keep going? I need to grab something real quick.
Noise. Yeah, and so as you can tell, she's miserable at home. And her parents accuse her of stealing their happy pills, which seem to be antidepressants. And there we meet her other friends, a fox named, let's see, what was it again? And Little Fox. The fox's name is Little Fox, and the other friend is Sandra, a troublemaking rabbit. Who apparently hears voices come onto the kids at school. Well, let's see. They're planning on leaving the island someday, but Dinky leaves a note and some happy pills for Birdboy. And Birdboy seems to be feared by the island, so the kids, however, did manage to gather up some money in the hopes of buying a boat to leave the island once and for all.
So how did they get that money, Jad?
By stealing from the parents and saving up.
Oh, don't you remember the pig?
Oh, I haven't got. Let's see. Oh yeah, the pig. Every now and then, Birdboy gets, because there's this pig fisherman who, because there's no fish around the island anymore, he now sells drugs.
And he wants to leave, but he says, I can't until, my mom passes away. His mom has some sort of sickness. We're not exactly sure what she has. But also, she's become the home for this black spider that demands that Zachariah, the pig, give her medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this spider constantly berates him and demands more drugs.
Yeah, and when he gives her the drugs, she becomes huge. Well, the kids steal the money from him. What happens is, after the kids steal from him to escape, the spider streaks down, and the mother upstairs is going, kill it. And so Zachariah, angry and frustrated, turns on the so-called spider and squishes it. Mm-hmm. Which effectively will kill his mother, but his mother was begging for this release. It's a bittersweet thing. It's they kill the spider, but the mother's gonna die.
And there's also these two police dogs who the ones responsible for killing Birdboy's father, because they were convinced he was trafficking drugs, but in reality he was planting acorns to regrow plant life on the island.
Yep, they killed him because they thought he was doing something else.
And now they think Birdboy's doing the same thing, and they're constantly trying to hunt and kill him.
Mm-hmm. There's a secret grotto wherever Birdboy gets hurt. He goes to this secret place. It's filled with life and a giant tree. The water around it is fresh. There's still fish. It's filled with birds, and he takes care of them all. So what happens if one of the birds dies? It turns into these yellow bugs. Yeah, and it helps them grow the golden acorns. So there's sort of a hint of oh, hey, maybe the world can be saved. But we go back to the kids. There's this massive landfill. It's filled with all sorts of garbage.
And there's rats that inhabit it who scavenge. There's this one white rat and his son.
Oh God.
Who scavenged for Kappa, so but they run into another father and son, and they start fighting. And you can tell the kids didn't want to fight, but seeing the dads fight each other, they start copying them. And
it is so sad.
Yeah,
and it gets worse.
What's worse is that the brown rat dies while the white rat son died.
Yeah, and the thing is a little okay, so this is something I actually did is that later on we see that little kid and the other rat together, because the rat followed him. The guy was just I think maybe in a way it was his sort of way of sort of being I'm sorry for what I did. He wasn't going to just up and abandon the kid, which shows that some of these characters still have some semblance of,
humanity,
morals. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna explain why I like this later, but they are, so the kids get lost in this landfill and they're looking for a warehouse.
You missed the part where the little fox finds berries on a cliffside, and Sandra she starts having intrusive thoughts and demons that keep telling him.
She yes. As Little Fox is eating these juice berries, Sandra's staring at Little Fox.
And her eyes turn red.
And at first we think she's going to push them off the ledge. But thankfully she just hugs them.
Yeah, that was a really dark scene. And
see, her intrusive thoughts take the form of little black rabbits that are all over her.
Almost like the little spider in the dying pig mom.
Yeah. So then they go to the landfill. They find another rat who's searching for copper. You
forgot about the Birdboy's flashback. Where he meets Stinky.
Oh, God.
Oh,
yeah.
They talk about...
They're in love.
Yeah. As he clearly has a thing for him, but he's reclusive because everyone on the island hates him and thinks he's a monster, and he has his own personal demons.
I also think he just doesn't want to hurt Dinky because this monster he can't control without the drugs. So he's afraid that if, he runs out of drugs, he could end up hurting her. And she's the only person in the world who seems to care about him because his dad, of course, was murdered. So then, is this when they go to the landfill, or is there anything else?
Yeah, the landfill where they meet this rat who's missing a hand, who guides him to this abandoned warehouse where this guy sells various boats.
Okay, but this white rat, it's a mouse, I think, and he has a brother. And at first he seems sort of mean, but they give him some money, but then he goes, "Please don't tell my brother I live like this. I beg of you." And he starts to cry. And someone says, I think it was Dinky, goes, "That's Little White Mouse's brother, I think. He's in the city doing really well." And once again, this sort of gives these characters some depth. They're not just these awful, heartless scavengers. They are very flawed. Because even the guy they go to visit, Uncle Klaus, he's a contraband dealer. All they can afford is a little pool toy duck. The other boats were bigger and stronger, but he sort of seems to take pity on the kids. It's enough for them this inflatable duck toy that talks.
Yeah,
apparently they're alive in this universe.
This rubber duck is begging and to go with him because he used to grow up with a family of inflatable ducks. He didn't inflatable fish until one day they got deflated and put into boxes.
It's like every thing in this entire movie has a sad backstory.
Yeah, but on the way to these docks, they run into these other scavengers who are all armed to the teeth and are just very violent.
Oh, and they're terrifying too. These are actually genuinely scary. I think it's supposed to be cult, kind of, because
they're called referred to as the Forgotten Children.
Yeah. See, Little Fox gets hit because they're a sneaky, sly fox. They want to steal our stuff, and then they take him to their leader, and basically their idea is that the world is filth. And they come from it, sort of.
Yeah, it's a cult.
So, we forgot to mention this, but Zachariah on his boat had a parrot because, he was trying to be a sailor. Sailors have parrots.
And Birdboy can talk to the birds.
Yeah. Because, also parrots can talk. At first, the parrot says pretty Polly, but it manages to help Birdboy. It says, "Birdboy, look out." And then the parrot was in the landfill and saw the kids, so they went to go tell Birdboy.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, so, Birdboy, in an attempt to save him, lets the demon out. And it is terrifying. It becomes this big black bird with a humanoid body and a long beak with shark teeth.
And teeth, yes! And it spits this greenish blue fire. It's both scary and really cool.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I don't think people usually think as a bird as something creepy. But a bird can be scary.
You ever seen a Pooh bird?
Yes, I've seen those birds. The one that just have the derpiest looks on their faces.
Yeah, and the big eyes. Nice. And he easily decimates the Forgotten Children. And while the other kids flee, Dinky stays behind and manages to calm him down.
Mm-hmm. And she admits that she loves him. So she says, like, come with us, you can guide us. So he decides to join them. But the thing is as they're going out on the water, there's a massive storm, and the toy duck is toppled over. They go under the water. Sandra's dark thoughts come, telling her to save herself, but she doesn't.
Yeah. And even...
Thankfully...
Oh, sorry. I think you're forgetting the most important part. Birdboy is shot by the police.
Right fuck these police. No, Birdboy.
A-cap, so motherfucker.
Sad. Yep. Okay, now, here's the thing. Despite this, there is a happy ending. Now, Zachariah manages to find the kids, and he returns them home. And the thing is like Dinky's writing in her diary, and all those really pretty fireflies come to her door. Now, unfortunately, Birdboy has died. Zachariah manages to fish him out, and as he does, the firefly leaves Birdboy, but the fireflies lead Dinky to the grotto where the golden acorns are, signaling that she's going to continue what Birdboy started, and that they could one day fix the island. So I actually see,
bittersweet.
I think the reason it's bittersweet. I like this because
it doesn't
I don't mind
hurt
stories
its
that are,
punches.
yes, but also, okay, there's two things. One, it feels a little realistic. It's like, it has a bittersweet ending, but sometimes when you try to do the right thing, some people get caught in the crossfire. So this feels realistic. Mm-hmm. Birdboy is dead. A lot of other people are dead, but there is a chance that the island could be saved one day. But also, the violence and the blood all serve a purpose in this story.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not squeamish. I don't really care about, but like, one of the things is also, as a massive fan of horror, some people will just throw blood at you and be like, are you scared? Do you feel something? No, you have to actually have a reason for it. Like, you like the Terrifier series, right?
I haven't watched one in full yet, but I have a morbid fascination with them.
But see, the thing I feel like what you've said about the Terrifier franchise is that it's supposed to be over the top. They're doing it tongue-in-cheekly. They are aware of what they're doing,
Yeah, and they're all about trying to push boundaries of what practical effects and gore can do in a horror film.
See, and that is awesome. Like, my thing is I feel like some people think if you add blood and guts and violence, you're making something adult and deep. No, you have to actually think this stuff through, and I think we've both even talked about that, like when we were reviewing Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. None of the kills felt, I don't know, they just were lacking. And again, I think they just thought, if we have a bunch of blood, it will be scary. It's like, nah, it's just gross.
Yeah, like, despite being a low-budget horror movie, those Terrifier films, they put a lot of work into trying to make it look realistic. And, like, they have different stunt bodies and props for a specific scene or kill. It just goes to show you how much work they put into them.
Yeah, so I also think this is one of the instances where someone like makes a cutesy story that's dark actually works. Because like the character designs are really adorable, but also they managed to make some of them look unsettling. Like Dinky's dad made me so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, the humanoid face and how he wears like a little hood to simulate mouse ears.
Mm-hmm. So would you change anything to try to fix this? Make it better?
Well, there was a scene or two that had a crude humor, like how the dog was dry humping Dinky's dad's leg.
There was no reason for that.
No, it was kind of crude.
I think this film also maybe should have been just a little bit longer, like maybe a few minutes, just because I felt like there was a lot of stuff they added, but I was like shocked. I knew it was going to be dark, but I still found everything to work together to make a really compelling end product.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think? So I think I'll give this a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 sounds cheesy, but it gets a point off for some of the crude humor.
Yeah. Again, I like it when we can have a break from like bad stuff. We're doing a like what's it called, a an award show with our friend John, his girlfriend, and our friend Prince Luffy. And the next one of the next categories is like the biggest failure. I know we're gonna we're gonna be ranting about them a lot.
Some for you to look forward to. John made me and Rich watch the Borderlands movie, so get ready to hear us rant about that one.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to work through that Harold and the Purple Crayon movie, but I was 20 minutes in and I lost interest.
You're
I am gonna try again. Okay. So unfortunately, we got to bring the mood down for just a second.
And
so, hang on. I need to. Michelle Trachtenberg, the star, a former Gossip Girl, and the lead actress of the Harriet the Spy movie, has passed away at 39.
39? Oh my god.
Yes, she was super young. So let's see. She was in Inspector Gadget as Penny Brown, Ice Princess as Casey Carlisle, but I think most people knew about her from the show Gossip Girl. I've never seen Gossip Girl, but she was Georgina Sparks.
And Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's right. She was also in Buffy. I knew I was forgetting.
It says
no, go ahead.
It says here she underwent a liver transplant last year, but apparently her body rejected it, and she died of natural causes. So,
yeah, I think so. The thing about like liver transplants is if you're not careful, your body can, your body will reject the liver, and that can cause even more issues. I think this one just sucks because she was 39. Mm-hmm. She's older than I was, but like 3 years. But man, I cannot imagine how her parents feel. Our hearts, of course, are with her and with her family, and her friends. Okay, we're just going to go through these last three because, all right. So this was shocking to everyone. Gene Hackman and wife Betsy Arawaka were found dead in their Santa Fe home.
Oh, God.
Now, this is, I think, an older article, but I think they said they found out how they died. Because originally they couldn't figure out what happened.
My God. They were still finding the final cause of death because they were found dead in the bed, apparently.
Yeah, and like there were no signs of somebody breaking and entering.
And the dog also died too. Oh, wow.
So this sounds like it might have been a chemical thing. Yeah, it says their dog Zinnia was mummified. Oh, God. Jeez. It was locked in a crepe bathroom. Oh, my gosh.
This is terrifying. Yeah, and, okay, so...
It just says natural causes.
Yeah, it doesn't really go into much detail. And...
No, it doesn't.
So, okay. So there's no...
But also...
one. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so see... It says that Hackman was suffering from Alzheimer's, so he might have not realized his wife was dead right away.
Oh.
Wait, no, it says, okay, his wife died from hantavirus pulmonale syndrome. Is a respiratory disease caused by hantavirus. Oh, man. He had died at heart disease due to the Alzheimer's. God. That's dark. Jesus. I think most people knew Gene Hackman as, what's his name? Lex Luthor from the original Superman movies.
OG ones.
Yep. He was also in Young Frankenstein. What else was he in? Mississippi Burning. Wyatt Earp. Welcome to Mooseport. Yeah, so this was just, I think, she died. And then, yeah, so he passed away like a week after she died. Oh man, that's sad. I guess that is really sad. Okay, we got one more.
No.
Roberta Flack, dead at 1988. This is the Grammy Award singer known for Killing Me Softly with his song The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face and other songs. She had Lou Gehrig's disease and she could no longer sing, but she was thankfully surrounded by family when she passed.
Was it natural causes or because of the disease?
I'm looking. Let me scroll down. Let's see. No, it's not. I don't think. I think it's sort of implying she passed due to natural causes, but she had to retire because she couldn't sing. But she got famous because Clint Eastwood used The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face as a soundtrack for one of his movies in the film Play Misty for Me.
That's sad.
All right, so now we're going to move on. Do you want to read this next one, or do you want me to read it?
Let's see. Two of Lively's co-stars should testify against Baldoni. Now, I'm not too familiar with this case, so what's this about?
Okay. So this is about how Blake Lively said that Justin Baldoni was extremely inappropriate with her on the set of filming the movie It Ends With Us. There was reports that while she was breastfeeding one of her kids, he walked into her trailer, that he invited friends to watch them while they were doing sex scenes and everything and just being genuinely inappropriate. So it doesn't say who the actresses are. They're probably doing that to protect no actresses are named in the suit. Oh wait, no, it says, however, they report the women in question are Jenny Slate and Isabel Ferrer, both who were in the film alongside Lively. So the thing is I think from what I remember is Baldoni was trying to sue Lively, possibly saying this is defamation, but now she has two people who also worked on the film on her side, so this is probably not going to help them, because also this Baldoni guy just seems from what I've read, he seems like he's much more, I'm trying to think, what's the word? He just seems like he's acting like he's bigger than he is, because a lot of people only knew him from, I think, Ugly Betty.
Oh.
Yeah,
not too familiar with the case.
Yeah, well, see, also, I just didn't know who he was. I knew that the movie It Ends With Us had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
controversy. It was a box office event, but it drew drew controversy, resulting in a number of lawsuits, and now he's suing her for defamation too. I don't know, this whole thing is a complete mess, but I think what's been bothering a lot of people is everybody's Blake is such a bitch, but it's well, it doesn't matter if she's a bitch. If he did something, he needs to be held accountable for it.
Because of Troy, not my favorite Troy. Sorry, but he's in the play Ava Moon.
What is he doing? Is he trying to put his paws on your face?
Yep.
The babies do that to me too. They're constantly trying to put their fingers in my mouth, and I have to zip my lips shut and be I don't know why, they just think it's funny. Oh, you added this, and I think this is...
Oh, yeah, they are already
no longer news.
Human Touch and the Thing are now playable in Marvel Rivals.
Woohoo! We got all Fantastic Four in the game!
Now, Human Touch is the dude in the duelist category. I mean, he's focusing on attack damage, while the Thing is appropriately Vanguard, making him a tank.
Yeah, that's what I would figure he would be, since he's kind of like the Hulk, he's a big guy.
And he's made out of pure rock.
Yep.
Yeah, Human Touch.
This game
he can actually...
go ahead.
He can actually fly and deal damage from afar, and even do a bit of air control, because he can and does throw globs of fire that linger. And if he does an airstrike towards them, they'll explode. Or he can use another ability to put firewall, also fire connecting them. That continuously damage anyone standing directly too close to it. And for his ultimate, he flames onwards, it summons a fire twister.
Ooh.
And the thing, he's belongs on the front lines. Like, his main attack, he does short range jabs. While his alternate, it has him do a charging punch that can actually do piercing damage at mid range. And
cool.
And another attack, he does charges head first, launching anyone in his path, sending them airborne. But they can't do the same to him because his passive ability, it makes him grounded, meaning he can't be launched into the air.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the only downside is he moves very slowly and doesn't have a lot of mobility options, with his only one being where he leaps towards an opponent to briefly give them a shielding and to reduce damage.
I would feel, it would make sense just because he's so, he is made of rock, so it'd be hard to...
And finally does his ultimate ability, Clobbering Time, where he just slams on the ground, causing an earthquake in his direction, and that launches opponents and momentarily stuns them.
Does he say the line?
Oh yeah, he does it right before he attacks.
Yes.
It's Clobbering Time!
That's one of the things they have kept, consistent with the thing is, it's clobbering time. It's things may change, but he will always say that. Okay, so next. So, do you guys remember the film Hancock from 2008?
A bit, yeah.
It might be getting a sequel, apparently.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Will Smith is the main character of this film, and in this film, it's about a dude who has superpowers, who's kind of a jerk. He's an unrefined superhero, and he hires a PR to help him become a better one. And apparently Will Smith said he had a really cool Hancock 2 idea, and that Zendaya is being approached about being in it. So it's not 100% confirmed. It's kind of teased at.
Oh, wow.
That's how I feel about this.
Oh, which one is this?
So the film came out... Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the other one.
No, this one. Because, the film is 17 years old. I don't know anyone who's, asking for this. So, we'll see. I've been surprised with, sequels for older movies, so we'll see. Okay, you go ahead now.
Janelle Moore...
Wait, oops.
Oh, you didn't add the link to it.
No, I didn't. Let me find it.
Janelle Monáe, did I pronounce that right?
Monáe.
To start a new Universal movie.
Okay, let me fix the...
No, it takes your time.
Okay, let me see. Edits. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Try that one.
Let's see here. Janelle Monáe to play a Tanya Smith, Connors behind $40 million heist in Never Saw Me Coming movie adaptation. Let's see.
Interesting.
She's also producing it through her company, Wonderland Pictures. Smith, who will be involved in the movie as an executive producer, is the perpetually underestimated con artist. Is behind what's been called one of the biggest threats to the entire United States banking system. Ooh. So this
is a real story.
It's based on Tanya Smith's memoir. I Never Saw Me Coming, how I outsmarted the FBI and the entire banking system and pocketed $40 million. Wow.
Oh my gosh, they must hate her even more because she's basically saying, you guys fucking sucked. Imagine being so petty. I'm reading the article and it says that they didn't believe her because they refused to believe a black woman could be an architect of such sophisticated crimes. Oh my god.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
apparently this continues to process has begun acquiring film rights to many memoirs and self-published and true story books like Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, Colleen Hoover's Reminders of Him, Percival Everett James, and Stacey Abrams' Rules of Engagement.
You know, I have a stink feeling this might possibly be an Oscar bait title, just because the Oscars love true stories.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at all the awards Oppenheimer got.
Oh yeah. All right, so speaking of leading ladies, Kristen Stewart leads star-studded The Wrong Girl cast for a neon drama. So, let's see, along her will be Seth Rogen, Kumail Nanjiani, Lakeith Stanfield, Zach Fox, and Tony Hale. It's to be directed by Dylan Meyer. So, I'm gonna see, does it have okay, so it's the story of Frankie and Molly, codependent best friend living paycheck and bong rip to bong, but with a case of mistaken identity
throws their lives. Sounds like a Seth Rogen production.
It kind of does. The film will also feature Philadelphia punk band Mannequin Pussy, who will do a live performance in the movie. Okay, so it's already begun filming. I mean, I'm interested in this because Kristen Stewart is crazy talented. I always think it's amazing how both her and Robert Pattinson have left the Twilight movies behind and have become legit actors, you know.
And Seth Rogen and his partner Evan Goldberg have been doing a surprisingly good job producing projects. They actually did an amazing adaptations of comic books. Preacher, Invincible, and The Boys.
Yeah, I think Seth Rogen took a break from making films because he also made some pretty good ones. He did
not to mention
Superbad. What else did he do? This Is the End.
Knocked Up.
Yeah, so I guess he's kind of returning to movies, I guess.
And not to mention he actually worked as a co-writer for Mutant Mayhem.
Oh, he did? Okay. All right. So, next one's yours.
Okay, let's see here. The MCU Defenders may return. Okay.
So, what are the Defenders, Jad?
They're a team made up of Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. I think they got a special short-lived the miniseries on Netflix starring their brief partnership with the streaming service. But it seems like after a lot of the acclaim and hype around Daredevil Born Again, and which is the Disney Plus continuation of the Netflix show, it seems like ID's team of street vigilantes turned superheroes might be making a comeback.
See, I didn't watch it. Did you watch it at all?
Not yet.
I watched Jessica Jones and Daredevil, and I liked both of those. I didn't watch the Iron Fist
it was bad.
show. It was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard a lot. It's everybody likes all the Defenders except for Iron Fist. So I'm interested to see what they would do with this. I would love to see Christina Ritter as Jessica Jones again, because, man, she was good as Jessica Jones. She gave, the character is very abrasive, but still very likable. Because she does care about people, and she does try to do the right thing. And I liked her relationship with Luke Cage, so I wouldn't mind seeing this again. And I also, let me see, what has Jessica Ritter was in Sonic 3?
Wait, what?
Yeah, it says director Rockwell.
Oh, her, right, yeah. And this might also signify a change in direction for the Marvel shows on Disney Plus. We've been seeing when they surface launch, they've been doing a bunch of big budget miniseries, but it seems like they might be taking a step back from that and focus on a more grounded show. Street fight and vigilantes.
Which is probably a good idea, just because they haven't been doing as well as they usually do. So this is, I mean, they will I think it's a good idea to focus on the more realistic heroes instead of constantly focusing on doing big, huge, splashy movies with CGI. So here's hoping this will be good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know about this, but we're getting another Street Fighter movie.
A live action Street Fighter movie finds direct what? This was time I'm hearing about this.
This was my first time hearing about it too. It's going to be coming from Legendary Entertainment and Capcom, of course.
I clicked on the wrong thing. Crap.
So I'm looking up at this director. He's a Japanese-American director named Kitaro Sakurai, and he is known for the film The Bad Trip. What else did he direct? He directed
Odd Fox.
2000.
And he directed a couple episodes of the Twisted Metal show.
Okay. Oh, he's also done some acting. Oh, and he worked on the Eric Andre show.
Okay, it seems like Platitas kept on the routes, but Street Fighter had the worst luck in terms of live action adaptations.
No. Everybody knows about those two crappy movies. And see, I'm not even like a big Street Fighter fan, but I remember watching those. I'm like, this doesn't seem accurate to the Street Fighter lore. And then like in the second movie, they completely changed the actors out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it wasn't any better. So I think go ahead.
Like there was that one 90s movie they did that was crappy and campy. And for some reason Jean-Claude Van Damme played guy who was the main focus for whatever reason, and it didn't focus much on the
whole thing was just a mess.
Thing. And then there was that The Legend of Chun-Li, which was even further deviated from the source material.
See, I think like with the success of the animated Mario movie, Detective Pikachu, the Sonic franchise, they're starting to be like, oh, we can actually make video game movies if we actually put in the effort. Like the reason like those other, video games movies is that I feel like a lot of the people just didn't take them seriously and thought it's like, we can do whatever. And then they ended up being massive failures.
So much so that Japan was like, fuck it, we'll do our own movie. So they did an anime movie based on Street Fighter 2. It also showed Chun-Li's titties on full display.
Wow. See, the thing is like when you're making an adaptation, you have to make sure you're appealing to old fans, but also introducing new fans, like into something new. And it's like if you fail with both of them, then you're kind of fucked.
Especially with how things have been changing with video game adaptations of video games recently. Like we've been seeing that with shows like The Last of Us and Twisted Metal, and and even in kids movies like the Super Mario Bros. Movie and the Sonic trilogy.
Mm-hmm. And there's just really no excuse. Like if you're given a huge budget, it's like you can use that budget to make good stuff. I just feel like there's not really an excuse to have a crappy superhero movie anymore. Now, this is interesting. I feel like this might need a little bit of context. I'm going to try to explain it. So, a long time ago, there was an anime that sort of, it kind of got the 4Kids treatment. It was originally licensed from Saban. So, there's like not a lot of proper translations or information about the original Japanese episode, but despite that, it became sort of a cult hit, and it was called Samurai Pizza Cats. Yes, that is what it's called. It's about samurai cats who deliver pizza. They live in a place called Little Tokyo. It's a mechanical city mixed with feudal Japan, and it's populated by cybernetic anthropomorphic animals. The villain is, I think, supposed to be a rat who calls himself his name is Seymour, but he calls himself the Big Cheese. His minions are a bunch of crows. Well, in order to combat this, they have the Samurai Pizza Cats, Speedy Ceviche, Polyester, and Guido Anchovies. So yeah, it sounds insane, but it's one of those things that got a cult following because of how over the top it was. Well, guess what? It's getting a video game.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh,
I was so
and
shocked when I heard this.
yeah, I'm surprised a lot of people remember it to get a game. It's been described as a 2D action RPG, and looking at these screenshots, I'm surprised how they managed to mimic the copy of the show so much. Like, it looks like an old 80s Japanese anime.
And they got the original voice cast back. They got the original cast.
Oh, wow.
Rick Jones, Sonia Ball, Terrence Scammell, and Dean Hophagen have come back to voice their characters. I hope this does good, just because it's, it's so silly and over the top, but, I watched the trailer, and the gameplay even looks really good, so...
Let's see. I wonder who Last Zero is developed. I wonder what else they did, and if it will load... And it seems like this might be the first game. Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, wow. They even did a lot of background art in traditional paint as well. Wow. That's some real dedication to the look. Okay, let's see what's next. And Vampire Hunter D returns after 40 years to US theaters and streaming.
Okay, so back in the day, Vampire Hunter D was a fairly popular manga / anime. It is about a vampire hunter who is wandering the post-apocalyptic world of Earth, and it combines a lot of different genres, but it all works really well. So I've never read it, but I'm excited that it's coming back because there's a lot of anime and manga that kind of got lost to time. So it's nice that this is something that's returning so people can also enjoy it. And it was also one of the few animes that we had back in the day that was sort of more mature, if that makes sense. Because we kind of used to when it came to anime, it was Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon. Oh, yeah,
the typical shonen kids fare.
Yeah, so this was something that's undeniably for adults. I think, if I remember correctly, I think this was on Adult Swim. I think.
Yeah, it looks like it belonged there.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people are excited about this. You can also purchase the omnibuses that collect all the all the books together, which is I'm also thankful for because that's how I'm reading One Piece. So yeah, I know a lot of people will be excited for this.
And I know I'm excited about this.
Yes.
Okay, so it's you and me.
You.
Okay, 3 new DC animated shows are announced. Some people were a bit skeptical that because of the overhaul of the DC cinematic universe, some other projects that doesn't take place in it might stall or be cancelled, but that doesn't seem to be the case, as even then, James Gunn and Peter Safran are letting other artists as their own takes on these characters in what they describe as DC Elseworlds. Basically stuff that's not canon to the DC cinematic universe. And one of these is, let's see, I'm going through them in order. My Adventures with Green Lantern, which is a spin-off of My Adventures with Superman. It's even done by the same team, and again, a lot of artists who worked on the show are to work on this one. This animated series will follow high school student Jessica Cruz, whose life changes with a Green Lantern power ring. And then, fuck off, ad. It making me a jumping glitch.
We're also getting a Starfire series that explores her adventures in space with her memorable companions and daring missions.
So this might be in the what they did with the Beast Boy spin-off they did. And then...
was it Beast Boy spin-off?
Yeah, you didn't know? They did a series of shorts called Beast Boy Lone Wolf. It was done by
I never saw those.
Hanna-Barbera Studios Europe, which was called Cartoon Network Studios Europe. And let's see, the other show... DC Superpowers. The animated series takes place at the Iron School for Heroes and focuses on new students Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra each one to level up their powers under the supervision of Principal Martian Manhunter. They hope to one day graduate in and become, the next generation of Earth's defenders.
Okay. Can I read the next one? Do you mind if I read the next one? I got a little excited. Okay, so the Starfire one is going to focus on Starfire from the Teen Titans. This is going to tell the origin of the title character. Follow her adventure after she uses an ancient spaceship she discovers on her home of Tamaran to escape the planet and join the stars. On her new journey are space biker Crash, plant-loving Fern, and the magical princess Amethyst of Gem World. So that's why I'm excited, because Amethyst is one of those characters that's not as well known. So I'm kind of hoping that if they do this, she could possibly get her own spinoff.
Yeah, I remember there was this one shot they did back in the day. It was like a pilot that everyone were hoping would eventually become a series, but
yeah, we were so sad that it didn't get picked up. So, I really don't understand why people are like, oh, James Gunn's going to ruin the DCU, but it's really nice that he's making stuff that's also not having to be connected with the DCU, because I think a lot of people have kind of missed that.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that I don't think Marvel Studios understands. Not everything has to be connected.
Oh, no.
It just let people enjoy things.
Yeah. Because I think the thing is you never want your media to have to feel like homework. It's like, oh, you have to know this, this, and this. Things can also just stand by themselves, Alrighty. Now I'm super excited for this.
Ooh.
Okay. Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony. We're getting a new Avatar series. Yes!
And this one's
called Seven Havens.
Yeah, it's set after the Legend of Korra and focuses on a new Avatar who's an Earthbender. Let's see.
So, for those of you who are not well versed in the lore of Avatar, it switches. It goes, let me see.
Air, water, earth, and fire.
Water. Yeah. So before Aang, it was Master Roku. Before Roku, it was Kyoshi.
And after Aang, it was Korra.
Yeah, so now it's going to be an Earthbender. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm excited, just because I like to see how the different benders deal with all the elements. And see, for Aang, the element he had the hardest time mastering was fire. For Korra, it was air. I think maybe for the Earth one, it might be water. That will probably be hard for them to master, because earth and water are sort of very different. Earth is usually very stoic and the same. It doesn't really move. But water is constantly moving.
So, it takes place in a world shadowed by a devastating cataclysm. A young Earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar at the core. But in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior, as she's now hunted by both humans and spirits. She must uncover her mysterious origins and save the Seven Heavens, and along with her long-lost twin, and before humanity finally collapses.
I can't wait. This is going to be fantastic.
I don't care what people says. I loved Korra.
Same here. It had its issues, but honestly, I still loved it.
I think it has most to do with the production. They didn't know whether or not it would get picked up for a second season or be a mini-series.
Yeah, it's usually a major issue with a lot of, now with a lot of these shows, is that you never...
So much uncertainty.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But I honestly can't wait. I know this is going to do well. I mean, people still love the Avatar series. That's the thing. I feel like it's very rare. A lot of people think, oh, every franchise is automatic successful. It's no, not all of them. There's a lot of franchises that never got off the ground or never got to have the staying power that Pokemon has, or Star Trek or stuff like that. It's kind of rare. So to see Avatar still having a massive fan base makes me happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, here's hoping they don't act like rabid dogs if it doesn't appease them 100%.
Okay. I want to kind of skip this one because it's depressing, but we gotta read it anyways.
Yeah.
So the planned Wonder Woman game is gone. We're not getting it because what did Warner Brothers do, Jad?
They shut down 3 developers.
Fuck you.
Count them 3. The biggest one being Monolith Productions, which it's made it like a Nemesis system. That was their own in-house engine. They developed the Shadows of Mordor series and was set to develop a Wonder Woman game, but now Warner Bros. Put the plug on them, and they're not the only casualties. Player First Games, the developers of Multiverses, shuts down along with the game. And Warner Bros. San Diego, which was focused on mobile games, has also been shut down.
Do you think they were trying to save money?
Possible, and most likely because of the failures of Warner Bros. Live Service Plus in the gaming sector.
Probably.
Like Rocksteady, the developers of Suicide Squad Killer Justice League were hit by layoffs, and which also lost them $200 million. And on top of that, Multiverses failed to meet expectations and resulted in a $100 million loss. Even though they bought Player First Games earlier this year, they're shutting them down as well. I'm hoping this might convince Warner Bros. To go back to more single-player focused games, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, same here. We don't really have that much faith in Warner Brothers these days. But there's some good news. We're getting a Punisher special. John Berthold's returning. Ooh, Werewolf by Night. Like a shotgun blast of a story. Interesting. Oh, he's also writing the special. Okay.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier, is how they're sort of returning to the vigilantes. And I know I haven't watched The Punisher, but I do know a lot of people really like John Berthel as Frank Castle. Let's see. Berthel's writing the script with We Own This City director, which is a show about corrupt cops and corrupt society. Okay, that actually makes sense. It sounds like this goes...
fitting.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. But also, it's like a shotgun blast of a story, but also all the pathos and emotion that you want out of a Frank Castle story. Okay. Like I said, I haven't seen the Punisher show, but I've seen John Berthel and other stuff, and he is very, very talented.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, this character, he definitely fits the character and the grittiness. Like, the Punisher is a very violent vigilante.
Also... Just a point for John Berthel, he does not have time for Nazis. He freaking hates them. He's made it very well known that he does.
Yeah, because the real Punisher would kill Nazis.
Yeah, like this is a character that is like people completely and totally misunderstand him. So I'm glad that he just put his foot down. It's like, yeah, I don't like Nazis.
Yeah, like the Punisher's anti-cop because he views him as corrupt, so he takes things into his own hands.
Yeah, so it's like, why the hell would he be on the side of Nazis? That wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so, does it say when this is coming out? Is there a date?
Let's see, no, not so far. It might come out sometime later this year, maybe, or...
Okay. We'll probably get more details.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm oddly excited for this.
Oh, yeah. Shrek 5 teaser reveal.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this. Everybody needs to calm the fuck down, because, oh my gosh, they don't look that bad. They look fine. So many people have been freaking out saying they don't like the designs, but I think they look great.
They're no longer uncanny.
Well, like, the thing is people are angry, but Shrek is all, like, grown up now. He's older. He just, of course, has wrinkles and he's got gray eyebrows. And Donkey, of course, is older, too. So, of course, they would look older. Like, I don't understand why everyone's so upset. I think they look fine. The eyes are
bigger and they're more expressive now.
Yeah. This is like a far cry from the first Shrek movie. Like, I think it looks really good. Even Pinocchio in the teaser looks really good. And the thing is they were making fun of how Shrek has become like a meme.
Yeah.
In the teaser. They know. They're aware. Okay, I know I feel like it's like, oh, Rooty, you're always talking about how they need to start making sequels, and you keep talking about how Disney keeps making live action movies, but guys, I love Shrek so freaking much. I'm happy this is still here. It's, especially when Disney's been so
hit or miss recently.
Yeah, and here's my thing about DreamWorks. I'm not naive to think they're a better company. I just feel that they take more risks. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, they don't never stick to one style for art style. No two films look the same in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's also the same with their television shows. They do have stuff that's more for a younger audience, and then they have stuff that's for slightly older audience. I just feel that they are willing to take risks with their storytelling and their art. And I appreciate that, especially when it feels like a lot of animation companies don't want to.
Okay, let's see. Well, and what's next? Oh.
All right.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be a big one.
Okay, let's inhale. We have got the Oscar winners. Woo! First up, for Best Picture, it was Anora.
I'll have to look up what that is later.
Best Actress, Mikey Madison in Anora.
Best Actor, Adrian Brody in The Brutalist. Best Supporting Actor, Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain.
Best Supporting Actress, Zoe Saldana and Amelia Perez. Oh. Best Director, Sean Baker for Anora.
Best Cinematography, The Brutalist. Best Animated Film, Flow. I really want to see that.
Me too. Best Animated Short, In the Shadow of the Cypress. Best Costume Designs, Wicked. Yay!
Best Original Screenplay, Anora by Sean Baker. Best Adapted Screenplay, Conclave from Peter Strahan.
So adapted means it was based off something else, basically. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, The Substance. Best Film Editing, Anora yet again.
Best Production Design, Wicked. And Best Original Song, El Mal from
really?
Amira Perez. Oh, God.
Okay. And before anybody says it, the reason none of the songs in Wicked were nominated, it has to be a completely original song. They can't nominate something that already exists, unfortunately. Best Documentary Short, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. Best Documentary Feature, No Other Land.
Best Sound, Dune Part 2. Best Visual Effects, also Dune Part 2.
Oh, wow. Best Live Action Short, I'm Not a Robot. Best International Feature, I'm Still Here. And last but not least,
Best Original Score, The Brutalist.
Kind of surprised Wicked was allowed to be nominated for Best Original Score, but I guess maybe they added some music to it. See, I'm just happy Amelia Perez didn't win for Best Picture.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I heard a lot of crap about the directors and the lead actress for it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are just shocked it was so beloved by the Academy, because a lot of people are just genuinely confused about why people like it. All right, can I go first?
Go ahead.
All right, for our recommendations, as those of you guys know, I love animation. I will put a link to their YouTube channel, but there is this little indie show called Dreamcatchers, and the style is very cutesy. It's about these two creatures, Star and TV, who are tasked with helping people in their dreams. It is very colorful and surreal and quirky. It's everything I love. So, I saw this and I'm like, oh, this was literally made for me. Everything about it just stands out. Now, you guys, if you also knew me, I really love graphic novels and I love webcomics. There is a comic called Never Satisfied. And the author of Never Satisfied recently released a novel called Hunger's Bite. It's by Taylor Robin. It is a supernatural horror story. It focuses on these characters named Nita and Emery. They grew up together. Nita became the ward of the captain after her mother died, and she and Emery have been best friends since they could remember. And it's obvious that Emery really loves Nita. He just hasn't said it. Well, they have lived on a boat like all their life. Nita wants to go see the world. Emery wants her to stay with him. Well, things also take a turn when there's a new owner of the boat named Mr. Honeycutt. And the dude just sort of screams weird vibes, but you don't know why. They also run into a man named Wick Farley, who turns out he is a vampire, but he's also a secret agent. He's a paranormal investigator. He's been sent to investigate Mr. Honeycutt. So there's an air of mystery. There's a lot of interpersonal drama. I really love Taylor Robbins' art style, but I also like how they write their characters. They manage to give their characters a lot of depth. They make them very interesting and relatable and very flawed. I've talked about how, like when you make a character, you need to give them layers. They can't just be this like flawless human being, but they can't be complete and total assholes. You need to have a balance. And I think Taylor Robinson does a fantastic job. So I think there's going to be a second book, and I hope so. It was like left very open-ended. Also, they're really good with queer representation. So if you want a book with some LGBT characters that's a mystery, I highly recommend Hunger's Bite.
Okay, my recommendation is this one you can thank Rooty for. Shiroko and the Kingdom of Winds. This is a French animated film by Bernard Shaw.
Bernard, yeah, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. And
we're not French, we're sorry.
It focuses on these sisters, Juliet and Carmen, and who are being watched over by this novelist, who's a friend and of the moms. But after messing around in her library, they accidentally get transported into one of her books, and they're transformed into cats as well. Yeah. After an accident that it disrupts up the kingdom, Juliet is given to songstress Selma, while Carmen is forced to marry the king's son, needing Juliet and Selma to team up to try to save Carmen. Now, what makes this film stand out from French fare is it's heavily inspired by Hayao Miyazaki and the works of Studio Ghibli, and you can tell that a lot with a lot of the character designs and the overall tone.
And the setting, too.
Oh, definitely the setting. And it's an amazingly beautiful animated movie that can be surprisingly heartfelt at times. As in, it's just bursting with creativity.
See, we're doing like a thing to catch up on like movies we haven't seen or share movies with each other, and I got to go first, so I chose Soroku.
Yeah, and it's a surprisingly pretty short movie. It's only 74 minutes long, but it's just bursting with creativity. So, that's my first recommendation. And my second one is one I saw recently, The Day the Earth Blew Up.
I can't wait to see this. I want to see it so badly.
There's a bit of history on this one. It was originally meant to be straight to streaming on HBO Max. Actually, it's being done by the Looney Tunes cartoons team. But Dan Sasloff came in, and it was a miracle that this one managed to survive. Like, instead of just outright writing it off for tax purposes, they allowed them to shop it to distributors with Ketchup Entertainment and managed to pick it up for an indie release. So, it stars Porky Pig and Daffy Duck, who are struggling to find a job in order to keep a roof over their heads. But they run into a favorite scientist by the name of Petunia Pig, who offers them a job at a bubblegum factory. They manage to hold on to their jobs until Daffy uncovers an alien plot at the factory, where an alien is using bubblegum to control people's minds to make them like zombies. So now, Bugs, Daffy, and Petunia have to team up to save the world before Daffy drives them crazy, that is. It's directed by Pete Browngarn, who's the best known as creator and voice of Uncle Grandpa, and you can tell he has him and the team have a lot of passion for Looney Tunes, even if Warner Brothers management doesn't. And Like, they even credit the storyboard artists as the writers, which very few animation productions rarely do.
And it's doing pretty well. Like, the reviews are very positive. It right now has made 5.3 million worldwide, but I think it'll do much better just because it's an animated film featuring the Looney Tunes. Of course, people were going to take their kids to see that.
It has a very modest budget of 15 million.
Yeah, that's really rare, especially like, people
for an animated movie.
We've talked about this. You don't have to like break the bank to make a good movie, and so we're happy to see more companies and more directors making their films on lower budgets, because then maybe they can possibly make back their money easier.
Yeah, like it stars Eric Bosa playing double duty as both Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. Kenny Milo as
crazy talented.
He has amazing range. It's like, I think we talked about this with Luffy when we were doing Persona 3 Reload, but he took over as the voice of a character in Invincible after Ursa Miller's allegations came out, and he's now the new voice of Jimmy Pesto Jr.
Yeah, the dude is one of the most talented voice actors today. Oh, dude, Soldier 76 is in this. The voice of Soldier, Fred Taskor, is in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Fred Taskor also did voices for the Looney Tunes cartoons as well.
That's right. He was the voice of Sam and Taz.
Mm-hmm.
He's also very crazy talented. I'm looking. Keith Ferguson's in this too. Reaper and Soldier 76 are in this movie. I cannot wait to see this. I'm going to probably try to see this either this week or next week. Me and my friend are like catching up on the movies we have to see. We're going to try to see this. Yes, we're going to try to see the live action Snow White movie. We want to form our own opinions, so we're going to go see it. But I decided, since I want to sort of make sure we can review some live action stuff too, I picked a cult favorite film of mine, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, one of your favorites.
Yep, I cannot wait to talk about this. And then, after that, it's our 50th episode. Holy fucking shit. We've been doing this for almost 3 years. We're going to be reviewing Cool Worlds. So we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.